I wanted to touch on the Terrence Crawford Omaha Police situation. It's crazy that this is like my first official video to the channel. And this is the topic. And this is absolutely and positively a Bud Buddy, Bud friendly channel. Like straight up, let's just get it on out there. There will be no Bud slander over here, but we will be discussing all types of fighters. But no Bud slander, especially after this weekend. I have no patience for any Bud slander. Extremely disappointing, deflating, deceptive, just doggy dog wrong. How about that? Doggy dog wrong. Omaha should be embarrassed. Not Omaha people. Omaha Police. All those that are part of the police department and the legal force there should be embarrassed because this is not a good look. This is not a good look. You guys, there's a lot going on in the country right now. I'm glad there's an investigation going on. I hope it's done honestly and with good intent. Because of the climate of the country right now, I can't help but think, this was a setup. And I'm not saying set up as if the powers that be organized this, because I'm not saying that, but I mean, who knows? But I'm not saying that. I'm saying more like he was targeted. Bud Crawford was targeted. He was definitely targeted. There's no way on God's green earth that you spend your whole career, 42 fights, 11 of them in Omaha, 11 fights total in Omaha, hometown fights, and y'all don't know who Bud is? That cop should get fired for lack of awareness for prominent people in his city. That in itself is, what kind of police officer are you? You're not even aware of the people in your town? That right there is enough to get fired. And look, I'm not speaking on this too much because I'm not from Omaha. I don't know nothing about Omaha. I ain't never been to Omaha. But guess what? I wanted to go. I had just went to Vegas. And I actually forgot that Bud has a parade 2 weeks later. So it was literally like a little too soon. If it was like next weekend, I would have went. And maybe that was for the best because Omaha is moving funny. Y'all moving funny. Omaha really needs to, if they want to get this situation under control and make sure that this does not affect the economy and Bud doing fights there, they need to fire those police officers and they need to make it like an example. They need to make it known. They need to publicize it. We are firing these officers for, unjust police behavior. And they also need to fire them because they have a lack of awareness. You don't even know the prominent people in your city. Why are you a police officer? The man was just on a float type thing, sitting on a throne looking like a king. But you don't know who that is? Oh no, you know who that is. Let me tell y'all something. They saw Bud sitting up on that throne with his name on the top and all them black people yelling and screaming. They got scared. I'm telling y'all, they got scared. They said, oh, he's getting stronger. We must stop him. White people do not want to see a black man sitting on the throne getting praise from black people, white people, Latino people. And don't forget, Bud was at his parade. After the parade, he was on stage getting the keys to the city. When he made a speech, what did his speech say? Oh, all y'all my people. Black people, white people, Asian people, Latino people, Africans. Everybody's my people. Let's all stick together. They don't want nobody bringing unity. I'm telling y'all, there's power in unity. There's power in unity, people. This is why let me tell y'all want to know what I stand for? I stand for unity. I stand for unity. That's me. I'm like that in every single area of my life. I'm always the person trying to bring people together. I'm always, who's missing? Call them. Why they not here? That's me. I'm that girl. But I'm glad that the internet is interneting. The internet is interneting, and I'm very proud. There's some people out there that got the story all mixed up, and we got some haters out there that's happy about it, but that's just life. That's never gonna stop. You're gonna be 80 years old, there's gonna be somebody in a nursing home hating on you. I promise you. It don't stop. And it's all good though. Don't trip off of that. Don't trip off of the people that's twisting the story around. I don't care if you live in a nice neighborhood. I think you should have a weapon. Some pepper spray, a bat. We all got knives because we got kitchens. What, stun gun, some nunchucks, a baton. Look. And it's legal to carry guns in America. And it's an open carry state in Omaha. So there was nothing illegal happening. And just to tell y'all something funny is that I literally woke up in the middle of the night that night. I woke up at 2:30. It's 1:30 in Omaha. Omaha's an hour ahead. I woke up exactly when all of that was going down. I found that very interesting when I found out what time it happened. I was like, I literally woke up right then because I looked at my clock and I was like, why am I waking up at 2:30 in the morning? It happens sometimes, but I was just up. I was walking around. And then all of a sudden, I saw a post from Coach Malachi that said, we just got pulled over by the police, guns pulled out, Bud, Shiraz or something, and somebody else. And I was like, what? So, me, it's 3:30 in the morning now, my time. So it's 2:30 Omaha time. So this is an hour after the situation happened. I'm on there like, wait, what? They put guns out with Bud in the car on his birthday after the parade? 20 to 25,000 people out there? Like, what is going on in Omaha? I was very confused, you guys. I was like hella confused. I was like, Omaha? I'm thinking Omaha is like a little golden pot. Like the white people and the black people, they all get along. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, come out of the fairy tale. It ain't like that. Oh, man. Let me tell you, when you're a black person and you were raised on the northern side of the nation, the northern east, I'm from the DMV area. I live in NY, New York. We don't see racism the same way as like the South and the mid states. We don't see it the same. I have never seen a Confederate flag in person. Never in my life have I ever seen a Confederate flag in front of my eyes. I have always seen Confederate flags on movies. I have never seen one in person. So, like, that just, it tells you, like, the different experiences. When I talk to people from the South, they say, oh, what do you mean? My neighbor has one. They're all over the place down here. And I'm like, what? I don't go to the South that much, but when I go, my family is originally from Charlottesville, Virginia. I know there's, like, some racism there, but I still never saw a Confederate flag down there. But I'm also not driving around the whole state of Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Or even the whole, city of Charlottesville. I was just still really surprised. But I should not have been, because when I started to put the story together and we look at the climate that we're in this country with the death of Charlie Kirk, let me tell y'all something. I didn't really know the guy. I didn't really know the guy like that. I seen a couple snips of his debates on the shorts on YouTube. But I didn't know that he was as racist or anti-black. I didn't know that till after he died. Because y'all got to remember, I think Charlie Kirk died September 10th. Bud's fight was September 13th. I was getting ready to go to the fight. I arrived in Las Vegas September 11th. So I got there early. I wanted to get there early. I want to get to know the city for a little bit. So, I like to go shopping, just, do some sightseeing, just, have a nice experience. It was my first time to Vegas. The next day, it was actually, I didn't find out that Charlie Kirk was assassinated until September 12th. And an Uber driver told me. He just randomly was like, hey, did you hear what happened to Charlie Kirk? And I was like, who? He's like, the guy who debates. And, he got shot in the neck. I was like, what? After the fight, after the glory, because after that fight, I had a lot of glory on me. All right, I was ready. I was ready for smoke. I was ready. I had my own war going on. And it was like, Bud passed me the torch. And I was like, all right, my turn. Let me get out here and get some revenge. This is our redeeming time. Redemption is coming for all those who hated and thought Canelo was going to win. Y'all going to eat that. Yeah, man, I was on it. I was on it all night. I be on it all day, straight up. But anyway, yeah, so I found out when I got back home, a couple days later, I started hearing about it. It's in the news cycle, seen the video. Wow, crazy, right? But then I started hearing a lot of people celebrating this man's demise. And that was because of all of the hateful things he was saying, the anti-black things he was saying. So, of course, there's going to be young people, older people, political people, all online in their ignorant self. And I'm not even going to say they're ignorant, but that's just the way they feel. Because when black people have been shot and when black people have been hurt by the police, they do the same thing. They make fun of Trayvon Martin and all of these other people, who have been in altercations with the police, and they don't have no problem with it. They'll put it out there. They'll make fun of it. It's not an issue, right? Well, the black people started to say something about Charlie Kirk, and this is what we have to be careful with, because you guys, when white people get mad, when white people do stuff to other white people, they don't get mad at white people. They flip it to get mad at black people, because they are taking this online stuff and they are using it to incite a civil war. They're actually using those terms, you guys. I'm not bugging. They're actually using the term civil war. There's this guy, I forget, his name is Van something. He's a black guy on the Republican side. He comes out with this video, I don't know, I feel like he was trying to warn us for real, but he was basically trying to say all the people saying bad things about Charlie Kirk, he's a good guy, and he sent me a text before he passed, and we were good, because I guess him and Charlie Kirk had some beef, because he's a black guy, the stuff that Charlie was saying about black people. So I guess him and Charlie must have had some words back in the day before he died. Well, I ain't gonna say back in the day, right before he died, they were in the middle of some stuff. So he puts out this statement, and then he goes, because we don't want a civil war to happen. And I remember I was like, a civil war? Why would he use that term? Why would he use civil war to explain this? And then when you hear the rhetoric around this internet stuff, Fox News, Piers Morgan, all of the right-wing Republican news stations, they are running with this, y'all. They are talking about the black people online making fun of Charlie Kirk more than they're talking about the shooter. The Charlie Kirk's wife at his memorial service / fundraiser / event said, forgive. We forgive the shooter. We forgive the shooter, was her exact words. I forgive him. But you don't forgive the people online? You don't forgive the people online, though? Because y'all are out here talking about these people need to be fired from their jobs. These people need to be done with. We want them to burn. Y'all, these are the terms they're using. And I'm circling this back. I'm circling this back because don't think this didn't have nothing to do with what happened to Bud in Omaha. They're using Charlie Kirk, who was killed by another white man. They're inciting anger against the black community because of people online. This is what this is about. So now the white people, because let me tell y'all something. Y'all gotta watch this Piers Morgan show. This black guy, I do not remember his name right now. Oh man, I'm unprepared, y'all. Sorry. There's this black guy. He got on there and roasted the whole Piers Morgan panel like I ain't never seen nobody roast Piers Morgan. I mean, this man, let me tell y'all, they didn't like that. They didn't like that because the guy had been making posts about Charlie Kirk, making fun of his death. But he did it on purpose because he said he wanted to show the right how hypocritical they were. Now, I'm not saying that I would have done it that way, but this is America, freedom of speech. And he brought up some really good points about the hypocrisy in this and how white people are like taking this too far as like acting like this is just so asinine and people are so evil for saying these things when this man had clear anti-black talking points. He was basically acting like black people were inferior and that like nothing that we do is ever better than white people. And this is what they think though. This is what they think. No, and this is what they think, but they know it's not true. But they're going to do everything in their power to make you think that. And they've been successful with it. Don't get me wrong, like they've been successful. There's a lot of black people who think of themselves as lesser than, lower than, and they don't want to see other black people make it. Well, white people don't want to see black people make it. And not even just make it. They don't want to see you praised. They don't want to see you praised. Because when you're sitting on a throne and there's people yelling your name, that gives them flashbacks, man. It gives them flashbacks of the information that they already know about you. And it's that we're royalty, like straight up, we really are. I mean, I don't mean to sound cliche, but we are. I mean, you can't say Bud wasn't looking like a king on that throne. You can't. He happy, smiling. People calling his name, undefeated, undisputed. Money, notoriety. And what they hate the most, good reputation. Good reputation. You ain't got no skeletons in the closet that we don't already know about. And that's what happens when you operate in truth. When you operate in truth, they cannot catch you. When you live a clean life, they cannot do nothing with you. And I know what y'all gonna say, yeah, but he still had a gun put in his face. Yeah, but he still lived. And that's the part that y'all need to remember. Because I'm a spiritual woman. Yahweh is my father. Y'all gonna know that about me if y'all know nothing else. You not gonna never tell me that there's anybody on this earth more powerful than my father. Never, never, never. Let me tell you something. The harder the situation, the bigger God moves, the greater God moves, the more mighty he is. He said, I will fulfill your need according to my riches and glory. His riches and glory. People don't really understand what that means. They think it just means money. No. First of all, riches is blessings in the Bible. And it can be a multitude of things. You could be rich in children. You could be rich in land. You could be rich in produce. Like you can have a lot of different riches. Wealth is money in the Bible. When the Bible talks about wealth, it's talking about money. When it talks about riches, it's talking about a plethora of things. And he says, I will fulfill your needs according to my riches in glory. That means that in his glory. That means, we don't have his glory. So when something happens and it's something big, he's the biggest. So it's his glory. He's going to get the glory out of it. So this is why I walk around like I do. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. This is my father's earth. This is my father's earth at the end of the day. And Bud lived because he was supposed to live. Okay? I don't care how that cop looked. And I know that was a traumatizing experience. And I know that it was dehumanizing. And it should have never happened. But guess what? He was going to live. Because he had to. What's blessed cannot be cursed. What's blessed cannot be cursed. Some people have a hedge around them that the enemy cannot cross. Even if he gets close, he can breathe all down your neck, but he can't touch you. He can't touch you. And that's real. But these are spiritual things. These are spiritual things, people. Bud was always going to live. And I know that it's a somber moment. And it's a ridiculous moment. And I'm not taking anything away from that moment. Because I want to see consequences. I don't want an apology. I don't care about their apology. I'm not even from Omaha. And I'm taking this like personally. Because if Bud was somebody else, we would not have heard about this, and that's the scary part for real. Yeah, something bad could have happened to Bud. Of course, y'all know I'm a spiritual woman. I'm going to believe he was going to be okay always. But yeah, something could have happened. Things do happen to people. I just think about waking up that morning and knowing, oh my God, Bud Crawford. Something happened to Bud Crawford. Like, yo. But this is the thing, though. This is why I do think it was targeted, though, because I think that they were waiting for Bud to do something. He's a boxer. He's a fighter. This is his night. They probably thought that he was going to flip out on them, that he was going to do something, that they were going to get him to act out of character, and it did not work. Their plan didn't work. The enemy has strategic plans to make you fall. He did not fall for it. And that's the thing, like, see, the Bible gives you the keys. You know, it says pride. Pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before. Bud could have totally got into pride. And it wouldn't even have been wrong. Because for you to have just had a parade and then have a party and then get pulled over by the police when you are basically an economy for that state is ridiculous. So the plan failed. But I'm going to tell you, Bud kept his cool. He kept it calm. You know, I know his security was there with him. And I know his security is like a prominent figure in the community when it comes to how to handle the police and all that good stuff. And I'm really glad he was in that company. Like, I mean, talk about being called for such a time as this, okay? Talk about being called for such a time as this. I mean, he was with the right person at the right time. Everything was set up for Bud to succeed in this situation. And why I also say Bud Crawford, this was the wrong person for this to happen to because of his integrity and the type of person he is. But it was also the right person for this to happen to because of the integrity and the type of person he is. So this happening to him is going to shine a big, bright spotlight on Omaha Police. It'll be some peace in Omaha for a little while because of the situation. I'm not going to say it's going to last. It just depends on how they carry this out. But it'll be some peace in Omaha for a little while. Because right now, the spotlight is on Omaha. And if black men keep dying, we're going to be talking about Omaha a whole lot more. Why? Because that's where Bud Crawford is from. So a lot of people are like, oh, you know, this happens everyday people. This is an issue. It is an issue. But this is why this situation could be a blessing in disguise. Because now there's a spotlight on Omaha. This has gone national. This is national. I mean, global, if you probably want to think about it. Don't think they talking about it in the UK and probably talking about it other places because, you know, Bud is a global figure. It's just not a good look for Omaha. That's why they need to fire those police officers. And I would encourage anyone from Omaha. I mean, I might call myself, you know, anyone from Omaha to call. All of y'all need to call. Y'all need to blow up that police station and tell them y'all need to fire them. Y'all want to reinstate. You want to show me something? Y'all want to show us something? Get those cops out of there.